Hello, this is Jordan Senda, the real, official, original, authentic, the one, the only, the official, the guy from Pittsburgh. And this is a channel update. I went to the doctor Friday. I asked her to inject my knee with cortisone. She didn't do it, just looked at me with this deer in the headlights look. Referred me to orthopedics and then didn't fax over the referral. So now I got to call Monday and say she didn't refer me to orthopedics like she should have. Lost my knee brace because I took it off because the metal stays were digging into my leg and drawing blood. That's these things. I had it in the bag and it was nut day. Crazy women all over the place, including the one at the elevator. It's how I lost the knee brace. Hopefully, when we go to BART on Monday, somebody will have turned it in. Otherwise, I'll have to get them to give me another one. Although I'm going to take the metal stays out or take my pliers and cut them down because they're too long and they dig into your ankles, they dig into your hip or your thigh. And someone commented, why is my knee taking so long? Well, the bursa, which is the kneecap, is inflamed. And it's inflamed, a lot more than it should be. About 6 inches below the bottom of the kneecap. And inflammation is caused by an injury or infection. I don't have an infection, and I've got more mask than Zorro. Lots of mask. Wear the mask the whole time. People on the BART train were not wearing masks. People going down the street were not wearing masks. People on the just a lot of people are not masked up, but I am. And they test you when you go in. They test your temperature when you walk into the building. They test your temperature when you go upstairs. Test my blood pressure. They took my weight. Do not have the coronavirus. And the reason I got sick to my stomach is I had made some spaghetti with Italian sausage, and I left the spaghetti in the pot on the cutting board too long without refrigerating it. It was a huge mistake, and I was sick for 2 days. I gave myself basically food poisoning. So, but I'm fine other than that. Well, Carlo, I can't sue the millions. I can't sue the that's my knee, and I'm not getting a lot of sleep because my knee keeps hurting. I can't sue the hospital for millions. So I can't get an attorney willing to take the case. And 3 attorneys I've talked to have said, we are too backed up to take your case, which really means we're not going to make a lot of money off of you. So bye-bye. I will deal with that later. I will go to the president of the hospital. I know where the offices are and demand to talk to the president and say, what are you going to do about this? It's been over 2 weeks. This is swollen like you wouldn't believe. The right knee is swollen too. It gives me spikes of pain. And I'm talking to Kathy or on the phone with the bank. Reflex credit card and screaming into the phone. A woman said, "You're all right?" I said, "No." A woman at the hospital crushed my legs. So, yeah, well, I wish I could call President Trump. There'd be a lot more I'd be calling President Trump about. Like, why aren't you negotiating with Nutcase Nancy and Grouchy Mitch and Cheesy Chuck and that Republican doesn't want stimulus and anybody else that doesn't want stimulus? What happened to the essential workers getting money? Why do you obsessed with the payroll tax cut that may defund Social Security? Although Trump claims that they will pay for Social Security out of the general fund. People are freaking out that the SSI trust fund will be out of money in 2022. The other funds will be out of money in 2023. Well, I don't think Nancy knows where she's at. And when the chief of staff calls her up and she goes, "Who are you?" I don't think it's sarcasm. I think she's got the DTs, or she's so hungover she doesn't know what to do, or she's wired on sugar. That's another thing. The doctor said, "Your sugar levels are high." Well, I ate I need a candy bar. I don't know where the wrapper is. Here's some. I saw it earlier. Maybe I threw it. Recycling. Hey, white chocolate lint candy bar. That's probably why it was a fairly big candy bar. That's why my blood sugar levels were up so high. I don't have diabetes, doesn't run in my family, and they've tested me so much I should have wings, of fangs, and a cape and talk like this. Hello, I am Count Chocula, and I will bite you and drain the chocolate from your veins. I do not drink milk except it's chocolate. I do not do dark chocolate either. Let me bite your Snickers. Oh, those peanuts hurt on my fangs. So, and by the way, I'm drinking Arizona Grapeade, which says it's fruit juice cocktail. And it says grape juice. I don't know what the hell else is in it, but these are $1. That's why I buy them. They're cheap. Let's see what. I can't read the label anyway. Know something. Hold on. Filtered water. God. Fructose corn syrup. Why do they do this? Pear juice. Red grape juice. And concentrate. Citric acid. Natural flavors. Vegetable juice? What's vegetable juice? Well, it's time to go to Welch's. The hell with this. That's why I drink Welch's grape juice. But I've gone to 2 Safeways. They've been out of my Welch's grape juice, which is criminal. It's a plot, I tell you, a plot. And the doctor couldn't understand when I said I wanted to kill the woman who crushed my legs. Jebediah, I have had 3 different doctors send me to the lab, get tested for diabetes, and then they cut the test comes back. You don't have diabetes. You're not pre-diabetic. Your sugar levels are normal. So, yeah, well, I didn't know this stuff had this in it. And as of, I'll drink this because I bought it. But after today, I'm not buying it anymore. I've never read the label before. So I went to the doctor, and she couldn't understand when I said, I wanted to kill the woman who crushed me in the bed, and I haven't figured out how many pounds of square foot pressure in a hospital bed does your. That was my back. Back and knees and legs, but having your knees crushed like this and having your back crushed like this must put a lot of pressure on your bones. And this knee is not going down. And she said, because you're inflamed. And I looked it up. The bursa, which is the kneecap, is inflamed. I did not have time to go to Safeway to get my new medication. I can't find the Naproxen. It went somewhere. I've taken the last of the prednisone. See if I can make the can here. Nope, didn't make it. So I will. Well, the problem is, you see, it's not up to me. And you got to give me a minute to read the column here. The doctor has to ask for a scooter. Then Medicare and Anthem or whoever has to approve a scooter. And I don't want just a wheelchair. I want an electric wheelchair. And then where am I going to put it? I have a manager who's obsessed with. I had my mother's electric wheelchair when she died outside on the balcony for 2 weeks. So my neighbor next door bitched about it. And the manager, you can't have that outside. You got to put it in your apartment. I'm going, where? So what I really want is a $4,000 electric scooter with the FM radio, MP3 player, which is weird, AM, not AM, air conditioning, heater, headlights, wipers, tail lights, doors, air conditioning and heater. And it can go 30 miles an hour and can also go at 30-degree grade. It's made in Canada by enslaved moose workers. So, made in Toronto or Mississauga. So they won't approve that though because it costs too much. So I'd have to shell out that money. Now down the pike, I get my credit up. I'll go buy one. If I have a choice between that and, well, I can see in the daylight. I can't read print, but I can see everything. Unless there's so much smog and smoke on the ground that you can't see anything. The 3 fires are still going in the Bay Area. And going to the city yesterday, there was so much smog and soot in the air, you could not tell if it was smog, soot, or fog. And it was all over. I mean, it looked horrible. It looked like gray. So, so the channel news is what's going on. Yeah, you can take it on the street. I mean, it looks like a Volkswagen, to be honest with you, and it would fit in the bike lane. So this is my channel update. What I'm doing, Jack. I'm telling you what's going on my channel, what's going on in my life, because I haven't done anything yesterday except lie in bed, ice my knee down, go fed the cats with my shopping cart, and spent a lot of time in bed moaning and screaming. So, no, this is the update. I wish you guys would stop that. When I say it's an update to me, this is what's happened between yesterday, when I did a video early in the morning, and today. I have wash to do. I bought Imodium and Pepto-Bismol. I've taken that yesterday. My stomach's churning a little bit. Still, when you have any kind of stomach distress like that, like stomach flu, it takes 2 to 4 days to recover. And all right. Jebediah Morningside, you are a troll. So goodbye. He just made a comment. And by the way, the Open Lines Willie was a troll. One thing he, she, or it said was that they got a GoPro 9 on pre-order and it was delivered. Well, I contacted GoPro this morning and said, I want to know if this is actually up for pre-purchase or if it's been released. And they said, we have not been informed when it's been released or when it's going to be released. So no, it is not out. So Open Lines Willie, who has been banned and who told me to F myself, was a liar and a troll. And so no, I have not heard from Open Lines Jerry. Open Lines Jerry has been blocked because there were posts left on the evil website. And besides the way, before I go on to that, on the second evil website, the Smellgab, Sewergab and Smellgab, that Open Lines Jerry denied posting, but I have many people who tell me that it was actually him. And by the way, please mark the like button. The last video I did, or the previous video, got 26 dislikes. The trolls mark every video I do dislike. So, well, you're not doing videos. Oh, you're back. How are you back? You're not coming in here. Get off my channel. All right? So you're not only blocked, you're also harassing me. So I'm going to report you, Mr. Open Lines Willie. Don't come back here again. All right, now. Well, there's only one LGAB and there's only one BellGab. And Jebediah Morningside said something, and no, there's no laundry. Look, I'm not going to be doing laundry when I can't stand. When it hurts like hell to get up out of bed or lie down, I'm icing my knee down probably 5-6 times a day. and I can't sleep. So, well, I don't care. I'm not putting up with it. I don't care if he's Ferdinand Damara or Frank Abagnale. I don't care who's impersonating who. I don't care who's a great imposter. I'm not going to put up with the abuse from people. But anybody who tells me to F myself on this channel gets blocked. There's no. Okay, Kathy is. What is Kathy doing? She wasn't feeling well. She woke up this morning with a migraine, and her neck hurts. And we will be going out tomorrow. I'm going to go to her house, activate my other credit card. Then we're going to go to Walnut Creek. I'm going to ply her with ice cream and get me a room and sandwich. If the place has table seating outside, if not, we'll find somewhere else to eat. And then I've got to go to Safeway and get the new medication, which I can't remember. It's in my backpack, which is across the room. What it's called. It's not naproxen. The doctor said it's an alternate naproxen. A lot of people say, and it will remove the inflammation, I hope. And then I could walk and lie down without screaming. No, she's not talking to Patty. And but I'm touching this kneecap, and the swelling around the right side of the kneecap has not lessened in 2 weeks. And the doctor said, I said, why hadn't the swelling gone down? I'm icing the hell out of it. And she says, it's inflamed, which is different than swollen. So I'm not sure what the difference is. I looked it up and I can't figure it out. No, I lost the brace. So, well, it's a little, even when I'm lying down, I can't, ow. If I move my leg, and particularly if I stretch it out, it's like I got a string on a puppet leg. When I stretch it out, it pulls on the ligaments, and the doctor said it might be your ligament that are torn. That's why you got to go and get an MRI done. The brace would help, except I lost it. It fell out of the bag. It was my foot was starting to bleed, and it was really hurting. I took it off, and this crazy woman with her dog, you're not getting the elevator. Only one person. I didn't realize. I got the elevator, went down. I got up my Clipper card. I scanned it to get off a BART. I had to rush for the bus. They were about to leave. And when I got on the bus and got all the way home, I realized I don't have the brace. It fell out of the bag. So now she had a dog that looked like a sheep. I don't know what it was. She had a service dog. It looked like a black and gray and white sheep. I swear to God, it was the weirdest dog I've ever seen. It wasn't a collie. It wasn't a Malamute. It wasn't a husky. It's just like a big shaggy dog. And I thought it wasn't a sheepdog. I've seen sheepdogs. It wasn't a sheep. It looked like a sheep at first glance. I said, my God, what the hell is that? She's walking a sheep. So I am putting Neosporin on this. So I got a whole bunch of laundry lying here, and I will do some laundry tonight. The only way I can do laundry is put it all in a shopping cart, wheel it downstairs, put it in the washer, come back up with my cane, go down again, put it in the dryer, and then wheel it back up in the shopping cart. I can't walk that very well without the shopping cart. Sheep get very smelly because when they go to the bathroom, it sticks to their fur. And the same with cows, and the same with, I don't know about goats, but I know those two. And sheep are cute, but they have to be sheared and they have to be hosed down. Same with cows. I've worked on farms. So, yes, Fuzzy is very cute. Biggest problem I have, I cannot find my nail clippers. Fuzzy hates to have her nails cut, and her nails are so sharp. She was kneading on me. She was starting to knead on my side. I went, ow. And so, I don't know. I was a kid. Wasn't paid. I was getting eggs and shoveling manure and putting out hay. And, God, it's 60 years ago. Who remembers Yes, Fuzzy sleeps next to me, and little girl sleeps next to me. They trade off. And no. There were chickens there, and ducks, and geese, and horses, and cattle, and no turkeys, and cats, and a dog. My sister took me out to some farm from somebody she knew, and they said, "You want to do some farming stuff?" I said, "Sure." I was a little kid, maybe 5 or something. Here's Fuzzy. Everybody likes you. You know that you are a star. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I put my head on Fuzzy, she starts purring like a mile a minute and starts kneading. She loves to be petted. By the way, we used to live in the area. We don't know. I used to live in the area of a turkey farm, and when it gets hot in the summer, it is the worst smell. It smells worse than cows. It smells worse than chickens. It smells worse than sheep. And you have the doors closed, the air conditioning going, which brings the smell in your house, and we would get in the car and escape. It's horrible. So, yeah, well, how about that mutton? You got the mutton and the hardtack. And my voice is not here today for the tired song. Higher talk. And the weevil was in the bread, Those casts they used to put the water would go stale, and that's why you'd get scurvy dogs because they wouldn't have any lemons. So I've been sleeping with the dog. Aha, that's the real reason she's kicking you out of bed. She thinks you're messing with the dog. Arrgh. Yeah, I tried shepherd's pie. We went to Hofbrau, Sacramento, the Kathy and I, that used to be really good. And went, and she tried the shepherd's pie. She took it back. It was terrible. I'm not sure what shepherd's pie is, but it was terrible. Okay, let's see. Best cat litter. Well, there's Arm & Hammer. There's Tidy Cat. I've used both. I get a big bag of Tidy Cat from Amazon, 40 pounds, but I can't smell much or anything. By the way, my nose is running a little bit, nothing like it was when I took all this prednisone. So, fresh step. But, I had a problem years ago. I used a product called Zicam, recommended by Rush Limbaugh, and then 2 days later, FDA pulled it, said the zinc in the Zicam will destroy your sense of smell, and I have no sense of smell, so I can't smell anything for the most part, unless it gets really bad, like the cat box. So, no alligators, no chupacabra. By the way, I watched a video of the flooding in Louisiana, I think it was, and there was an alligator in this flooded area, just looking around. And across from me was cattle. And I think this alligator is going, lunch. So, Bob Lazar, well, I've got his autobiography, the worst autobiography I've ever read. It tells you nothing about his life before he went to Area 51 and nothing after. So, yeah, I'm allergic to zinc, but I didn't know it. The doctor wanted me to take zinc, and it made me sick to my stomach, and it ruined my sense of smell. I can smell some things when I'm cooking, like bacon and stuff. But so I think Lazar is telling the truth. Why would he subject himself to all this criticism? He could have worked at Area 51 forever and not said a word. And he was hanging around with Lear, John Lear, And Lear got in trouble, and Lazar got in trouble, and agents followed Lazar, and they were filming him and everything else. He went through a lot of crap. Not money. He wasn't making a lot of money. He got indicted for building a computer system for a brothel, and they tried to claim he was engaging in racketeering. He went through a lot of crap. No, I haven't heard what John Lear said of Art Bell. So, and the other thing is, we have developed in the lab element, I believe it's 115, not 119, but it takes so much power because it's a radioactive element, and it comes off another uranium or something. I'm not a chemist, and my chemistry days in high school are long gone, but it takes so much power to develop little grams of this 115 that I don't think there's this big block of 115 sitting in Bob Lazar's Funk and Wagnall's jar in his porch somewhere. So, and John Lear hasn't been well, so I don't know if he's got issues other than general health issues. I'm just doing with the light. The keyboard is. It's different. I don't know when it's doing that. Maybe it's on and saying it's off. Anyway, yeah, I think Art Bell's parts were legitimate. He sent him out to labs. Linda Moulton Howe talked about it. George Norrie talked about it. He discussed it with Richard C. Hoagland, and he discussed it with Stanley Friedman. Well, Keith doesn't know I exist, as far as I know. So I used to write Keith Rowland, and one day he blocked me writing him. So I don't know why. I want to know where Madman Markham's time machine is, so I can borrow it and go back to when I was 18, 19, 20, and I'll let that one go. So I can smack myself and go, don't do what you did when you turned 20 and, join the Air Force or stay in Vegas. So another thing, I figured something out. I'm on SSI, and the haters hate it. And they say, go to work. I had another guy today tell me to go to work. I said, I can't even walk. You want me to go to work? I figured out that 1,000 shares of AT&T, if I've been allowed to buy stock, and there's a congressman named Larson who sponsored a bill that didn't go anywhere in the House to raise the income limit for what we're allowed to have if you're on SSI. It's $2,000, hadn't been changed since 1988. And he said in an interview, it's criminal. 1,000 shares of AT&T would give me $1,040 a month, which is $100 more than I get with SSI. And the thing is, that much stock would roll over with the dividends. We're not allowed to buy stock. So they keep you in bondage. And speaking of bondage, the California legislature is forming a committee to investigate whether they should have reparations for slavery. Now, this is amusing to me because here's a state that was a free state that had no slaves, and they want to pay people for being slaves, and nobody in this state, nobody alive today was a slave. California is broke. California has deficit. They stopped paying illegal aliens, but now they want to pay all the blacks for their ancestors being slaves. I'm going like, this is one of the reasons why Gavin Newsom, there's an effort to recall him. Okay, Jack, you need to stop this. Don't comment stuff like that. I'm removing that comment. This is a family channel. Don't do the 50 Shades of Grey stuff either. So I think it's ridiculous. No one alive had slaves. No one alive was a slave. No one alive sold slaves. And only a small percentage of people in the South owned slaves to begin with. I've heard the figures as low as 7%. So, yeah, trolls need to pay me and Kathy reparations and all the people they've abused. And the police in Portland finally got fed up. One person was killed last night when Trump supporters fought with Antifa, and they marched en masse and they arrested a whole bunch of people. Okay. Okay. All right. Envy is not allowed to be mentioned in this channel. I'm going to remove that. If you mention Envy again, or Bardell, Jack, you're going to be in a timeout. Okay. You've watched enough of these videos. You know. Don't tell me you don't know, Jack. Right now, I'm not worried about doing a podcast. I'm sitting here and my knee is killing me. By the way, there's another thing. No one has been donating at all. And I got expenses, folks. Can't buy a GoPro with all my money. So that's my PayPal address. And I'm taking this credit card. And I'm going to go my Bank of America card. I'm going to go take $200 of that and buy Kathy a TV. Thank you, Jack. Because her TV died. And I'll do anything to make Kathy happy. Well, I got to see an orthopedic doctor. First, I got to have an MRI. The doctor said, first, get your MRI of your brain because I kept getting dizzy months ago. And the Bay Area lockdown through that to help, through my colonoscopy to help, make sure I don't have cancer. Because when I had the colonoscopy done 3 years ago, they said you have a precancerous growth, which was removed. And in 3 years, we need to look at it again. I don't know what they did with it. So, yeah. He didn't have a job, and he donated $1.99. So I really appreciate that. But, if I roll my eyes up my head and I yell or moan or stop talking, that means the knee is saying it hurts. And I can only sit here for so long. And this thing is, both sides of the kneecap are swollen like this. And there's times the knee starts throbbing. I can actually see it throb. It's like having a creature underneath it. So, no, we can't do that. People keep asking that question. Okay, let's assume for a moment that everybody in the United States except Kathy and me disappeared. I would be on the West Coast, or actually I'd be in Nevada, because there wouldn't be taxes, would there? I'd still be in Nevada. After they clean out the corona, I'd move to Vegas, take over Caesar's Palace, make it George's Palace, and Kathy would be in the Bay Area. We can't live together because we love each other dearly, but we drive each other nuts. She listens to music I've never listened to. She watches Futurama and talks about Inuyasha and alien movies, and she didn't like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis and people I like. Our musical tastes are different, and we've lived together 6 times. That's enough. No, 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 no. I just ice it up because I look. I Yeah, George's Pork. No, not Pork Palace. I'm not going to call it the Pork Palace. George's Buffet Palace. Now that might be the way to go when the buffets come back. Or I got a better one for you. Hard. Barnacle Bill's Seafood Grotto. There you go. And buffet. Hard. We have give Barnacle Bill a job. He'll be the official greeter of the Barnacle Bill's Seafood Buffet and Grotto. So, bacon buffet. All bacon all the time. In fact, everything's made out of waffles, made out of bacon, coffee made out of bacon, tea made out of bacon, soda, bacon soda. They have bacon soda. All bacon. In fact, the entire building is made out of a giant slab of bacon. No, no, no. That's all right. Leave the Pork Palace. That's funny. The Pork Palace. You have little pig heads all around the top of the building. Instead of those Roman statues, you have pigs in Roman costumes or something. I think it's funny. Arr, yes. There be swine here. Arr. How do you like your ribs, you scurvy dog? Here you go. Take a fork. Oh, that's still raw. Let's throw it back on the fire for a couple of more minutes. You want the hot and spicy barbecue sauce or the mild stuff? Or you want the baby sauce? Here, let me hand you a diaper and a bib. Hard. And we get the waitresses, they have little pig noses and little curly pigtails. They'd be, instead of Playboy bunnies, they'd be little piglets. The Pork Palace piglets. For the piggies. They get silly on this channel. Then we could have the Pigmobile. What will you have? I think what the second one would be. Porkman and Piglet. We have the crime fighters. Porkman and Piglet. There we go. Barbecue ribs. In fact, you'd have this mound of giant ribs. You have a giant rib like the Flintstones rotating on the roof, a giant, huge slab of ribs. Pittsburgh Pork Palace. That's right. A pig with a pirate's eye patch, right? Avast me hearties. With, of course, a rib stuck to the sword, And a pig instead of the Jolly Roger, that skeleton head, you'd have a pig with a eye patch on the flag, People smell for hundreds of miles the smell of roasting pork. The Jolly Porker. That'd be named our pirate ship. We bring back the pirate ship in Treasure Island. I take over to Treasure Island too. Every hour on the hour. We have the Jolly Porker fighting the dietitian ship, The PETA. What do you call the PETA ship? The PETA, I don't know what you'd call that, but it'd be the PETA ship, and we'd sink those suckers, No trolls allowed at the palace. No, we allow them. We allow them in the palace through the back door. And they'd be forced to wash dishes chained to the sink. Manually. No automatic dishwasher. We have a guy dressed in a pig out with a whip. Faster, you dogs! Faster! Hard! No lunch breaks, no dinner breaks, no bathroom breaks for those scum. Work them till they drop, and then when they die, we throw them in the dumpster and recycle them into soup. No, not a brothel. Not a brothel. Has not this pork has nothing to do with brothels. No sexuality, just you know. And besides, it's all in fun. Yeah, that of hot pork fat, boiling hot pork fat. In fact, we could have the villain, the porker, instead of the Joker. Look, it's the porker. Holy chitlins, pork man. How do I get into this stuff? You could build a tiny house out of leftover the remnants of the rib, dry them out, and have a bone house. Get a little, might get, unless you really bleach them well, it might get a little smelly with the flies around. You'd have to make sure no flies can get in. No, no. No children ever come in here. This is really an adult channel. I make it think of family, which is, a kind of a half joke, but I try to keep it clean. Somebody crosses a line. Sometimes even I get carried away. I cross the line, but I don't want sex talk on here. I don't want, religious talk, gay talk. Just fun. Lucky Farrell's is trying a new brand of cat food, Pure Harmony something or other. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Harg, you matey. Give me all your booty, or else I'll keel haul you. Harg. And open up Kennywood while you're at it and bring back Isley's. That's the first thing I do when I take over Pittsburgh. Yeah, well, the Spam Museum, we're going to shut that down when I take over because spam is disgusting. I don't eat spam. Ugh. I went somewhere and they had spam, and I'm going like, no. It's the reason we fought World War II to get away from spam, and they even sent it to our troops. I don't know how I would look in a cashmere. I watched Jim Cramer in a video. He put on a blue cashmere sweater. He looked really weird. Talked about his mother who bought a cashmere sweater. She made big money on the slot machines, and she likes stock puts. I got to get well. I got to be able to walk. It's going to cost just to fly there, and I ain't going to fly in the crud. It's $500 to go to Pittsburgh, and I don't see anybody giving me $500 here. So, and I'm not sure if that's one way or round trip, and then I got to have another $200 a day for a hotel room. That's right. Guy out there's talking. So I got plans mentally. No. The subway it goes like from Daly City. They're going to eventually, they got to do stations going down to San Jose. But the closest it gets to anything east is Fremont. And then you got about 3,000 miles. So you're not going to travel to Pittsburgh on BART. Now, there was a time where you could take a streetcar from New York City all the way to Chicago. That's what a good streetcar system we had in this country. So, and a little blurb, World War II anniversary, a Senate race, and the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. I thought that was grease pig races. So you catch the pig, maybe. That sounds exciting to me. I'm not going to grab a pig, but and it's not the same streetcar, but you could travel halfway. Chicago is about maybe 1,000, 1,200 miles. You could literally travel via And General Motors and Goodyear and the tire companies conspired to buy up all the streetcar lines. And the San Francisco had Muni with streetcars, and the key system was all over the East Bay, and LA had the big red car and all that, and they got rid of all those and made you buy cars. But you could literally travel on a streetcar from New York to Chicago because there were lines going out the outskirts, and you'd get off, and you might have to take a bus in sections, but you still could literally almost travel half the country. And we made a big mistake. Now you see light rail terminals like BART. They go from Pittsburgh to Antioch in a little car that's got like room for about 8 people, and they spend $3 billion to go 5 miles or something. So it's one of the biggest mistakes we ever made, carrying down the streetcar system. And a guy who was mean to Kathy, he owns a store in Concord. Well, he got the coronavirus, so karma has attacked. That's another reason why I know none of corona. He said he had 107 fever or 104 fever. Had to shut down his store, and he's paying his staff, but he wasn't nice to Kathy. So I told her that, and she was very gratified. She's still mad at me. So they run some of the old streetcars in San Francisco. I'm not sure about New Orleans. At one time, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Pittsburgh were the only 3 cities running the old Pacific streetcars. She went into a store and was reading a comic book, and he gave her a bunch of crap about it. He was really mean to her. And I wasn't there, but if I'd had him do that, I'd say, hey, that's my girlfriend. She's looking to see what comic book she wants. She's a big X-Men fan. I bought one comic from the guy, and after I heard she did that, I never went back to the store. So that's not right. You get these guys, you go to 7, oh, get it, read the magazines. So, and he was bemoaning, he started the National Free Comic Book Day, and he said, I lost thousands of dollars in income from that. And he said, I made in one day what I would normally make in a month, and now he's shut down. So, good. Mean to my Kathy, I hope you go out of business. So, hey, that's another thing. You could have one of those water rides with the rib bone hollowed out, and people could ride in the rib bone, and you go through, instead of water, you go through like a big pool of barbecue sauce. Everybody have napkins, and face masks. The plume of barbecue sauce. And everybody would have Bush's baked beans and cornbread. And at the end, you go to the buffet. You pay the fee, and there you get the buffet of pork ribs. So, Bob for pork chops. Yeah, right. Get Casey Masterpiece or Kraft, And you could have the opposite of boggling for pork chops. You have them on a string, and you have to jump up and grab the pork chop. And you have a guy, you dunk the pig. You throw baseballs at the target and try to dunk the pig in the vat of barbecue sauce. The Willy Wonka for barbecue sauce wrestling. I might have heard of it. Spicy. Oh, God. Yeah, would you have those baby back ribs? But none of those pressed cardboard McDonald's ribs. These are all real stuff, No pre-frozen either. It's all fresh. I guess it'd have to be fresh. I don't know. I don't know how they transport ribs on the truck, but well, we ate the St. Louis ribs in Emma Villa. The sauce is different than the other. We don't like the gravy sauce. And of course, one of my dreams is to go to Kansas City to have me a whole mess of Kansas City ribs because they're real good there. Want to go to Kansas Fest, formerly known as Apple Fest. And after I've dieted some more, have me a mess of ribs and cornbread and salad. Got a friend there, Bill, not Barnacle Bill, and hook up with him. You decide we'll work for ribs. And another thing that's good is you take beer and you pour it over the ribs, and that's real good. You get one. I'd have these, custom made barbecues. The ones that look like a big beer can on stilts. Well, we solved that problem. We built a pirate ship on wheels. Take a semi or a motorhome, haul that sucker out, build a pirate ship. A snacky poo. No, that's a new name. A snacky poo. I've never heard that term before. That's different. Making me hungry too, but I already ate my breakfast. Hello, Andy. I get really mad when I travel, though, over to the city or anywhere and see people without masks because they're endangering themselves and they're endangering me. This is the one I use. It's a little hard to get over my head, and I always get it wrong. This one fits my head. The other ones are difficult. And the small ones keep getting wet. Let's see. Never quite get this right. I'm sick of these stupid masks. Oh, the FDA commissioner said he's not going to bow to pressure from Trump, but he may allow the vaccine to be released even though third stage trials haven't been completed. There you go. This actually stays in my head, but now I can't see where the hell I'm going. So that's the one she sent me that fits my head, but I'm still too. So. Yeah, mighty Mississippi. I don't know if the Mississippi goes to Kansas City. I'm not sure where the Mississippi goes. I know it goes to St. Louis and New Orleans. And a tributary goes all the way to like Minnesota or something. I think Vicksburg. Yeah, Barnacle. That's right. Ah, the Missouri River. Hey, wait a minute. We go to Texas. We borrow the USS Texas, put a propeller on it. Barnacle Bill can go straight up the Mississippi and turn left into the Missouri and show up at the dock in his battleship, the Barnacle Bill battleship, and then have a big rib party on the battleship and bring it back to Texas. But have the Texas Navy sponsor it, and what they have, the Cajun Navy down in Louisiana. They're helping out after the hurricane. And he could train the barrels of the battleship. Hard, give me rigs, rigs. Give me ribs, you buckos. I'll fire upon ye. Blast you. Mrs. Puff, you think I couldn't remember her name the other day? Well, we'd have a pilot or something. Pity Foster Brooks isn't alive. We have fun with Foster, but he'd be the harbor pilot. We're gonna be a harbor pilot today. I've been a pilot for years. I know every inch of the Mississippi. I can't spell it, but I know every inch of it. I can't do Foster Brooks. He was funny. May he rest in peace. Yeah, SpongeBob is his first mate, and Squidward is his last mate. Oh, I need to stop rubbing that knee. Ow. Big mistake. Still don't cut my hair. Yeah, Power Roach sounds like some Inco commercial. And now the Power Roach. Yes, this amazing product. Amazing product. You can do so many things with Power Roach. It measures, it dices, it slices. You can write with it underwater. You can write with it above water. You can write with it in the air. No, I haven't found the braids. I gotta back to Bart tomorrow. Oh. Hello, Soul Sister. You can use it to light a fire. Now, an ice cube fell on the floor, which I couldn't see, and now there's this big, small, and it's a perfect square. It's really weird. It's a turned rectangle of water. Or you could have the Power Roach as the first electric joint. The Power Roach, it lights itself and it extinguishes itself. And it puts itself in the ashtray. And it beeps at you when it's about to burn your lips. The Power Roach. Ask for it by name at head shops everywhere. Yeah, we don't know. We're wondering what you do for a living. Your hands hurt. Oh, ah, ah, ah. Well, you know what? If they can't take a joke about pot, by the way, there was a news story today. The Democrats, when they go back into session, are planning to vote on a bill to legalize pot. A pot in every chicken and a potted Democrat in every pot. So, Chad's a pot right now, or some CBD or whatever that stuff is. Don't look at me. I don't know. I haven't looked at pot stock. Oh. Excuse me. I don't like the one stock today, AT&T. It's about $30. Ah! Do not stretch the leg out, George. $30 a share. Tesla's 2,000, over 2,000, and Apple is I think around 400. Your broker should be able to help you with that if you really have 100 shares of Tesla. That would be 10 shares would be 20,000. 100 shares would be 200,000. So any broker will give you a link to, if you've forgotten your password, to go in and create a new password. Well, if you have a trading account, there has to be a password. Whether you're at TD Waterhouse or Fidelity or E-Trade or Schwab or Robinhood or Webull, or there's several other stock places. I can't think of the one. There used to be a discount place in Oakland, Scottrade. That's the one. E-Trade is not a problem. I think Schwab bought them. Yeah, they hit $2 trillion in market cap. They're going to go more when the Silicon Apples come, and they're coming out with 6 new iPads soon. Another reason I'd like, oh, by the way, the iPad. Let me put the iPad. Yeah, I left it in the bedroom. Hold on a minute. Okay, now it's time for pain. Put the keyboard down. Get up. Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Don't knock over the grate. Oh, this is the iPad, and it is so screwed up by this thing with other. I have to take into the shop. Our credit union is offering us auto loans with flexible terms. Because what they did here, they have the storage, and even though it's got 2 gigabytes available memory, you only use half my applications and it keeps locking up. So I got to pay them $25 to back it up. I can't back it up to my Mac. That's why I'm not using the iPad right now. I can play solitaire on it, and I can't look up Gmail. I can't look up Amazon. I watch YouTube. No, don't want a Samsung tablet. I got 2 Amazon Fire tablets, and they're terrible. So, what little mans? What are you referring to? Behind me? They're Star Trek creatures. McCoy, Spock, Kirk, and I believe Sulu. They're little wooden. Well, the person who gave it to me spent $400. I'm not complaining, but it's Apple's operating system. They store everything in other, and you can't easily get into other. It's storing a huge amount of memory in there. It's about half the memory of the iPad. And the iPad memory is a chip. It's not a hard drive. Well, I have Fire tablets. And one of the stupidities, if you don't use it for a while, the apps expire. And I went to the Amazon store and I said, how do I get them to unexpire? And they could not tell me. Well, I didn't know you could jailbreak an Amazon Fire tablet. But the other thing is they're on the side. Okay, if this is the Fire, they have an idiotic plastic door for the SIM card, and it's held together with a piece of plastic. And if you open that door, it breaks off and you can't shut it because it's held together. It's got a spring. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I put Final Fantasy on there, and it wouldn't run because it didn't have enough memory, because you have to put a bigger card in it. The door comes out, and the piece of plastic broke on the door, and there's no way to stop the spring from pushing the SIM card out once you break that little piece. It's a plastic hinge, and it's real thin. Might be fixable to you, but I couldn't fix it. I don't know. All of this is, they file with the EC or EU or the Asian Economic Conference, which they're required to do before they come out with a new product, except for there's an iPad in China, which they're not required to do, and I suspect it causes the internet to be blocked. So, no. This is a very, very hard spring. It's pushing the SIM card out. I tried everything I could try, even taped it shut. It still pushed the SIM card out. And the SIM card is what runs the device. So, I watched an interview from 2019 with Steve Wozniak. He's still a sweetheart. And he said, doesn't follow Apple stock, even though he owns some. And he talked with the Tesla. He was hoping a self-driving car. He said it's never going to happen. And he talked to people at Chevy Volt. Well, aren't you going to do this and that? And what about charging? Oh, we just come up with a car. We're not worried about charging it. And he said one problem is all the charging stations are in the city. And he said, if I decide to drive to Kansas, where do I charge my Tesla or the Volt? Something they don't think about. And a long time ago, I knew Jobs and Wozniak. Wozniak is still God and one of the nicest people in the world. So, yeah, maybe we need a car from Animaniacs or something. You know, drive a cartoon car would drive itself. A little taxi from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? With the rubber tires and the face on it. Well, I read about a doctor said about the COVID vaccine. He said there's various problems with it. Is going to provide permanent relief? Is it going to be temporary? They just said a guy, the first guy to have gotten, he got tested positive in March for the vaccine, for the crud. And then in May, he got it again. And he was rehospitalized. First guy to get it twice, and the first guy to test positive for it twice. So nobody knows what's going to happen with this thing. And there may be another strain coming. And then they did say today in another article that don't get the flu shot yet. It's too early. So I'll be going to get my pills tomorrow, and then I call the doctor and say, you got to forward this to orthopedic, and hope the orthopedic doctor after I have the MRI, I guess it'll be after, does something with his knee. I just hope nothing's torn in there. I got enough trouble walking without surgery. I'd have to stay off the knee, and I'd have to get in tendon. No, you don't want a metal knee. Anytime you replace the knee, you have a fount of problems, just like replacing a hip. They might be able to sew the ligaments back up again. I don't know. According to various sources I watched today and yesterday, the cases are going down, but people are still getting infected. So I think a lot of it is there are a lot of people out there that are not practicing. I watched Jacob lives in Vegas, and he's walking around Vegas last night, and there are people, 4, 5, 6 in a group. None of them wearing masks. I would reach to the screen and start smacking them. No, I haven't looked at them. I don't think they're death trap bads. It's more of an idiot trap. I was trapped and I had an idiot. Or someone who certainly was callous and was determined to do what she wanted. So after this week, I will go over to their headquarters and start trying to see if I can see someone with higher authority. No, the bed didn't malfunction because everybody was moving the bed for me when I asked, until my back said, that's enough, you can't move the bed. So my big problem is when I lie in the bed, I'm 6'2", and the bed has only got about that much space between my head and the end of the bed. So I don't know. She read my chart. They have my religion. I have no idea. No, she was malicious. I told her no. She did it anyway. And then when I started screaming in pain and then started yelling at her, you're being unprofessional. How dare you yell at me? And I go, who the hell else will you yell at? You just crushed me in the bed, lady. What were you thinking? Why did you do it after you got told no? Hospital bed reform, right? Yeah, I'll take a Barker lounger with a water bed with the heater attachment. I don't know. I never saw her before. She had the ID and all that, but I couldn't see it clearly because it was dark in the room. And I was being checked out 6 hours later, but I've gone through 21 days of pain now. No, I hadn't mentioned my politics. No, because the charge nurse talked to her, the respiratory therapy manager talked to her. She was an employee. I'm just mad that John Muir's never contacted me to apologize or ask if there's anything they could do, or do you need help? Well, they have in my chart my religion. But any idiot who would put the controls to lift my feet up like this and to take it and push against my back after you've told her not to do it is either arrogant or has an FU attitude or is determined to do what they want, or all of the above. And aside from being Jewish, she crushed the senior. See, in a perfect world, I could go to Channel 7 on your side, and I'll probably do that too and raise hell. Maybe get the guy who run Michael Finney to take my case and get me someone and raise hell at the hospital. He's big on these stories like that. I can't prove that. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what her problem was. I've never had, and I've told the nurses when they come in, when they want to do certain things, they say, no, I don't want that. And they don't do it. So Well, folks, I think that's the end for this one because my knee is starting to make me almost scream. It's really hurting. So I'm going to go and it's time to, blah, 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 blah. Too much pork talk. Blah, 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 blah. Time to ice my knee and lie down and quit having the eyes roll up in my head. Um, Yeah, well, you better have the audience of Art Bell. Well, you know what happened on my luck? He'll make it rain in here, like in Texas. Remember Art Bell when he did that? Uh, yeah, well, I have to oh, not be in pain to talk like a pirate. Okay, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Thank you for the one donation. Thank you for coming in. I will be out with Kathy tomorrow and no iPad, but I'm going to take the iPad to the shop Tuesday, $25 to get it worked on. And then the iPad will be back to normal, I hope. And this is why in the next 90 days, I'm getting the other one fixed. And they're coming out with the new iPad Pro, the new iPad Air. And if I had the money, I'd be buying one of those right away. Yeah, well, they're not men. They're little wooden figures. They're Star Trek, you know, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Sulu, or Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Scotty. I'm sorry. So no, Picard, no, make it Sue. No, Picard sits there and talks for an hour and a half. If I were a Romulan or Klingon, I would have blown his ship up. I must talk to Oh my God, he's talking again. Fire phasers, fire torpedoes. I can't take it anymore. He's been talking for 20 minutes. Kirk acts. Picard talks, and you. I grew to like Cisco. Uh, it took me a long time to warm up to God. What is her real name? I know her real name in the back of my head. Janeway, and the same with Cisco and Enterprise. I never liked. It was too weird. Yeah, well, George Takai is gay and a liberal, but he was a very nice fellow. I had dinner with him, so no, it's not a poot. It's a train whistle. Actually, the crud is political. I'm going to remove that comment. Um, crud has been politicized just like everything else. Yeah, we were at the Federation Trading Post, my friend Chuck Weiss, and George was doing a personal appearance, and there was Sandy Saris and me, and George said, let's all go to dinner, and he had about 12 people. And, okay, I just removed it, and you comment on poot again. Stop. And George made name badges for everybody. Everybody was named George. And I said, George, you don't have to name me George because I'm already George, and it's the best name there is. He said, you're absolutely right. So, no, George paid. Makes you think, George, bearded lady, you're getting too weird. Move that comment too. Okay, I'm gonna next comment you make that's off the wall, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. So, no, he's not attracted to me. There's none of that. I knew he was Sulu. I'd seen him in guest appearances on television shows for years, including Perry Mason. So I knew he was. And I don't know what the Rambles is. I have no idea. Why do you assume, by the way, that I'm going to remove that comment too? Why do you assume that if someone's gay, they're going to be predatory? Now, no poo comments. You know, the man was very pleasant, very personable, great fun to be with. And at the time, he hadn't come out. Nobody knew he was gay that I know of. I wouldn't have cared. Well, the comment you made implied that he was only involved in me because he was thinking in a physical manner, and I'm not going to allow that. So it's very unfair to George. Joe Biden. Well, I'm sorry, but Joe Biden was not running for president. Ferris Bueller, 365 days off. That's funny. So I'm interpreting it as predatory. Well, I don't watch Howard Stern. Oh, God, I don't know, 77, 76. I have Chuck Weiss's book. He's dropped off the radar. He book where he was abducted by aliens. He had a hard time after the trading post in New York and Berkeley shut down. He was homeless. He couldn't get a job. He married Sandy. They got divorced. He lost his house in the Mission and was on the streets and the financial district with a signboard, need a job, and he got a job. And then turns out the place he got a job, they went under. They were social service agencies. So well, I don't care if Howard Stern likes Trump or not. Howard Stern is Jewish, and I'm not impressed with Howard Stern. He's very arrogant and at times very, very rude. So, but you know, I didn't get to talk to him much. I've met Michael Dorn, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, Gracie Whitney, Jimmy Doohan, George Takei, and several cast members of The Enterprise and A Piece of the Action, Julie Newmar, Yvonne Craig, people have been on original Star Trek. Oh my. Actually, you'd have to do Shatner saying, oh my, because Shatner died and said, oh my. So, Ira Blue, Jim Easton, Jim Dunbar. These are Bay Area people. I'm sure there's people in the back of my brain that I don't remember anymore, but many people on TV did radio, like the guy who did The Millionaires. His name escapes me right now. I think a lot of them did when they met scientists and all that, and there was a show with Nimoy, and he said a great deal of Star Trek fans are scientists, and I think that you look out in the stars and you think there's got to be life out there. We can't be the only planet with life. unless there's planets with just paramecium or amoeba, one-celled animals. Yeah, my computer chair, that's another reason my knee is hurting so much. I fell and landed on the bad knee. So William Shatner has to talk like this. Somebody said he did a really good acting job in Star Trek 3 with Spock dying, and they said most people consider him to be a ham-fisted actor. I've never seen him holding a ham in any picture, so. No, I have a folding chair, which is not exactly comfortable either, so. But Shatner has these pauses, risk is our business. So he pauses all the time. I don't know if he's trying to remember his lines or he just does that for effect. What's weird is when he's not on, you talk to him in a normal voice, he doesn't pause. It's just when he actually pauses. I don't know. I don't think so. The man's 80 years old. He did Boston Legal, and he seems to be perfectly fine to me. Why would he have COPD? What did that have to do with pausing? That's a breathing disease. As far as I know, Shatner doesn't smoke or has asthma or anything else. I don't know. No room in here for a game. I'm in the hallway with about 6 inches between me and my gut. Okay, well then I didn't know he was smoked. I had no idea. And that's a big mistake. I mean, it killed eventually Leonard Nimoy, even he quit smoking 25 years before. So I think smoking was done by actors because you would grab, uh-oh, there goes my thing here. Years ago, lighting a cigarette, I'm not going to pull out a cigarette. You would take a cigarette and you light it, and it gave you something to do with your hands, and then you'd have to smoke it, or a cigar. And that's the problem. No, I never smoked. I'm just saying it's used as a prop to give you something to do between scenes or during the scene or for effect, and you can gesture and all that. And you can point at it and go like that. I tell you this is what you need to do. Or a pen or a pencil. Humphrey Bogart smoked, got throat cancer. Sammy Davis Jr., throat cancer. Yul Brynner got cancer. John Wayne, all smokers. Dick Powell. I think Agnes Moritz, she got cancer. Whole bunch of people, Pedro Armendariz Jr., a whole bunch of people worked on the Concorde got cancer. Well, I don't know about that either. I saw a guy in the video in Vegas, the guy's vaping, and that's today's cigarette. No, I did not fake smoke. Because smoking made me sick to my stomach. So I would tell people, in no uncertain terms, do not smoke around me. No, Kathy has never smoked a cigarette. And the late Tony Randall was notorious for going after people if they smoked around him. So Felix is in the building. Do not smoke around Felix Unger. And my joke about smoking, I do not smoke, but I do smolder at times. Well, I don't know. Kathy's been watching All in the Family, and I watched it when it was on. I have no desire to watch Archie Bunker again. Oh, idiot. I can't do the voice, but my father had emphysema of smoking Lucky Strikes. Oh, that was a twinge in my back. Yeah. And my mother smoked and stopped and did not have any breathing issues. So I never faked having a cigarette. I did eat bubblegum cigarettes. That's about as close I got to smoking, and bubblegum cigars. So, and I could never do one thing my sister could. I could never blow a bubble with my tongue or blow a bubble at all. Mario Lanza is before I was a baby when Mario Lanza was in the 50s. No, I think Mario Lanza died too. I'm not sure what he died of, but I think he was in South Pacific, but I'm not sure. Great singer, though. So, oh, another guy that smoked was Lon Chaney Sr. Got throat cancer. I don't know. I haven't seen the woman in 20 or 30 years. I don't know what my sister looks like. Yeah, I met Frank Sinatra. Yeah, the gum in baseball card packs, that stuff was bad. And when it was old baseball card packs, it was worse. So you had to get it brand new and fresh. You could sharpen those edges and use them as shurikens, and they were inedible. I never met Jack. I would have loved to have met Jackie Gleason. He had one of the biggest paranormal UFO collections in the world, donated to University in Florida. You're not allowed to go in there unless you're a researcher. But Frank Sinatra I met at the Riviera Hotel. He always called me the kid. I always called him Mr. Sinatra. I don't have the money to go to Pittsburgh, and now I can't walk. Everybody went, Renee, go to Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, I've got $60 in my checking account at the credit union. This is $18.40 in dimes and nickels, and I've got another $3 in pennies. So it's not as if I'm going to show up at the airport. Here's my life savings. Can I go to Pittsburgh? No, she's not going to come all the way out here. Where would she stay? Can't stay in my messy apartment. And not on my sofa bed. I'm not going to sleep next to my sister. That'd be creepy. So, no, she's not staying with Kathy. And she's not staying with Patty. If this D gets better, probably next year. That assuming we have a vaccine. That's assuming you can fly. That's assuming the airlines don't go out of business. I'm not going to give her my Star Trek things. She's not into that anyway. I don't know what my sister's into. I want to see the. No, my sister and my mother had issues. I asked my sister to come out. My mother was dying. She refused. My mother kept telling my sister how to run her kids, how to raise her children. I think Futurama is idiotic, so I don't like it. No. My sister was back east. So, I mean, I checked the prices at a hotel in Pittsburgh, and it's $175 a day. So I'd have to save up probably $2,000 to go back east. No, they're not split up. Just, well, I couldn't not be there, and the woman took her night. I watched her die for 9 days, and it was horrible. So, no, I'm not going to buy them presents. They're all grown. They've got grandchildren, grandnieces, and nephews. They're the ones that are rich. I'm the one that's poor. And my mother bought them all houses. Didn't buy her son a house. So she could have. She had a $3 million ability to. She all you had to do was sign the paperwork. I could have gotten a VA loan. Because they wouldn't. And my sister is certainly not going to give me money. So she's a Pisces. She's very tight-fisted. But I'm not going to go into that. So, no, they're not going to send me more mans. I got enough knickknacks in here. And bric-a-brac and whatever. That I need to put away. I don't need any more stuff. Except a newer computer. Well, folks, my backside and my back and my knee are killing me. So I'm going to end this one. Thanks for coming in. Please mark the video with likes because it offsets the trolls. I'm not going to put it on eBay. Those were given to me, so they're special to me. Okay, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great day. Oh, my voice is gone. I could quit. Stay wet, warm, dry, or cool as the case may be. Stay cool and dry or wet and cool. And I will catch you next time. I got to lie down and get some rest. I don't know. They're $6, $7, $8 a piece. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. They're Star Trek. They're collectible. I could have left them in the package if I wanted to. Yeah, goodbye, you scurvy dog. You shiver me timbers once again. Arrgh. No, they're up there. When the iPad's fixed, I'll lift the iPad and you can see the little wooden figurines. So I'm not sure how much they cost. I haven't looked them up. I think they're about $7 a piece. All right. Have a great day and a great Sunday, and I will catch you next time. There's the little bat behind the wooden guys. So bye-bye for now. Okay. Gotta lie down, ice my knee down, and get some sleep. Bye. Thank you.